Sure, thank you. Alrighty. I will share my screen. Please do let me know if you guys can see my screen. Um, okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start off with basically doing a little bit of introduction of Malaysia, and then onto that, I'll move on to introducing the team. We have different education counselors that are in charge of different markets, and then after that, I'll give a little bit briefing about INTI and what we have to offer, the different pathways that we have, the different programs that we have, and if, say, for example, you guys have any questions or like you have specific majors you'd like to know about, please do save your questions for the end of the session, or you can actually put your questions in the Q&A section that has been provided by Yes Education. All right. So first of all, I'd also like to thank Mr. Timothy for arranging this webinar, and hopefully you guys can learn something. And if, say, for example, you guys have questions, hopefully we can actually get to you as soon as possible as well. All right. So I'm not sure how many of you have ever been to Malaysia. So I'd like to give you an welcome to Malaysia. Just for information, Malaysia is a culturally diverse country. This basically means that they have different cultures in Malaysia and they are able to adapt to different cultures. So as an international student, be it from Laos, from Cambodia, Myanmar, or Vietnam, generally speaking, whenever you come into Malaysia, you're able to adapt fairly easily because there's generally a lot of cultures and the adaptability is very possible in Malaysia in general. Just for information, Malaysia is also a multiracial country because they have the Malaysian Chinese, the Malays, and then of course the Indian Malaysians as well. So in general, also because we have different expats in Malaysia from different parts of the world and various countries, it's also easier for you to actually adapt because then you won't feel so much uh, homesick. You'll be able to also learn about different cultures and you'll be able to sort of adapt to the new environment, which is in Malaysia. And just for information, studying overseas in general, part of the learning is actually learning about different cultures and respecting other cultures as well. So this is actually a good thing about Malaysia. All right. Just for information, Malaysia is also known as a continental food haven. Generally, there's a lot of food for you guys to try, and you can always try different things like nasi lemak, char kway teow, and so many other foods that you can try. All right. Malaysia is also known for its modern architecture. It has the KL Towers, it has the KLCC, and also some of the new buildings that are coming up, like the TRX building, and so many other infrastructures that they have. Even the train system in general in Malaysia is pretty good. I can also vouch for that because I've been a foreigner in Malaysia for over 9 years as well. Actually, just for information, I did study at INTI as well. Okay, so I started off as studying at INTI and then finally started working as an education counselor at INTI. All right. Just another update also about Malaysia. It's actually a multilingual country. So in general, you can be able to adapt and also learn a few other languages, be it English. So say for example, some of you maybe might not be very good at English. You can actually learn English at INTI or generally also when you're mingling around with other students. And then also some of our programs do offer some foreign languages like French, Spanish, and many more other languages as well. All right. So moving on. I'll start to introduce the team members. So we have Mr. Wei Soon. He's actually the education counselor that is in charge of Southeast Asia, and he's mostly taking care of Indonesia and Brunei, and occasionally he does assist with the Myanmar students as well. Okay, he's in charge of doing application, admission process, student welfare, accommodation arrangement, and also post-arrival matters. So let's say, for example, when you come into Malaysia, you want to find out how to open Touch and Go, how to open a bank account, find out about your insurance, we will be there to assist you. All right. Next is, of course, myself. My name is Arthur. I am one of the education counselors in charge of the Southeast Asia region, and I'm mostly taking care of Vietnam, Philippines, and also on occasion I do assist with Myanmar students as well. I'm also in charge of doing application, student welfare, admission process, accommodation arrangement, and also post-arrival matters. Okay. Then we have Mr. Raiden. He's actually an education counselor that is focused on the Thailand, Cambodia, and countries. So he's the one in charge of doing the application, documentation process, admission process, student welfare, accommodation arrangement, as well as also post-arrival matters as well. All right. Okay, then we have, of course, Miss Queenie. She's the regional manager for the whole of Southeast Asia region. So she's in charge of doing country activities, say, for example, arranging such a webinar with Yes Education. So she's the one who assists with that. She will also assist with student accommodation, student admission process, student application, and also student welfare, as well as many other things as well. So if, say, for example, if I'm not available, then you can reach out to Mr. Raiden. If Mr. Raiden is not available, then we'll pass it down to Mr. Wei Soon. And if Mr. Wei Soon not available, then we also have Miss Queenie. So in general, general, there's always somebody there that will be there to assist you throughout your journey at INTI, whether it be your first year, your second year, or even when you progress from maybe, so say, for example, foundation to degree or diploma to degree, or even from degree to master's, there'll be somebody there to guide you throughout the process as well. Okay? All right. So just some quick facts about INTI, just for information. We have 4 campuses across Malaysia. We've actually been operating for over 39 years, and we've been assisting to empower young minds. How we've been doing that is because we actually have over 1,000 industry partners. So some of you might question, what is the importance of having 1,000 industry partners? You see, at the end of the day, we understand that for you guys to study, you actually want to be employed after you complete. So because of that, INTI focuses a lot on employability. So we also try to give the students the opportunity to do their internships or maybe an employer project. So an employer project is, say, for example, maybe if you're doing accounting, right, and then you want to work with KPMG on a certain project, they'll give that project to students to work on it. So that way, it helps you develop your skills. It also helps you gain some industry experience and also exposure. So this is what's also important about INTI. All right. We have over 15,000 students that are currently in our programs on campus itself, and 91 students have graduated thus far. All right. Okay, so now on to the locations of the campuses. All right. Okay, so first things first, we have the INTI International University Nilai campus, which is the main university campus, which is about 20 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur International Airport and about an hour 30 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur, which is the capital city. All right. So we offer postgraduate programs, we offer undergraduate programs, we offer diploma programs, as well as foundation programs in the INTI International University Nilai campus. Then moving on to the city campus, which is the INTI International College Subang campus, which is the main college campus, which is about approximately 30 to about 40 minutes away from Kuala Lumpur. And we offer undergraduate programs, we offer diploma programs, we offer foundation programs, we offer A-levels as well. So let's say, for example, you want to do A-levels or you want to do a diploma in mechanical engineering, we do offer it in our college campus as well. All right. Then we have the INTI International College Penang campus, which is about approximately 4 to 6 hours away from Kuala Lumpur. It's an island campus that also offers undergraduate programs, foundation programs, diploma programs, as well as A-levels. Okay, so some of you might question, why would I want to go to Penang? Just for information, Penang is now becoming a technologically advanced state, because a lot of these IT companies and industry companies are actually setting their HQs there. So it's also good for some of the students. Let's say, for example, you're looking to find employment after you graduate, especially now that they've released the graduate visa, you can actually try to find some opportunities there. Let's say, for example, you want to study mechanical engineering there, or you want to do computer science also there. You can actually study in the Penang campus, and hopefully you can actually land a job in one of the headquarters in Penang itself. Okay, then we also have our INTI College Sabah campus. However, it's limited to local students at the moment. So mostly, for most of our international students, they normally go for our 3 campuses, which is the INTI International University Nilai campus, the INTI International College Subang campus, as well as also INTI International College Penang campus. All right. Okay, so moving on. Right, just for information, this is where we ranked in the world and the QS ranking. So some of you might question, what is the QS ranking? So basically, this is an overall ranking of a student's student experience, academic learning, and also just the university overall. So as you can see, we've actually been climbing up in the QS ranking. So we started off at 556, then we went to 516, and now we're 509. So this just shows that we're actually academically inclined, and we're trying to improve the student experience, not only academically, but also just the student life experience, meaning whatever activities that happen, whatever school clubs that we have. Let's say, for example, you're interested in dance or you're interested in taekwondo. We have so many activities that happen on campus that allow students to actually gain a good experience and also have that international exposure. All right. So this is a good something you might want to find out about our QS ranking in general. All right. So moving on. All right. So some of you might want to know about a little bit about our transfer options and how you can actually transfer overseas. Okay, so INTI has over 350 partners worldwide. So you can either transfer to the UK, the US, Australia, Canada, Switzerland, New Zealand, China, as well as France. And to some extent, you can also transfer to Ireland. So let's say, for example, you're looking to do computer science or psychology in Ireland, you can actually transfer to do so. We also have programs like the American Degree Transfer Program, where you can do 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to the US or Canada. Or you can do the Australian degree transfer program where you can do 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to the UK, Australia, or even New Zealand to complete your studies as well. So in general, we have different pathways that will lead you to different countries as well. Let's say, for example, also you're into hospitality, you can go to Switzerland, or you can also go to France for culinary arts, or let's say food management as well. Let's say, for example, you want to do traditional Chinese medicine, then yes, you can also do 4 years here in Malaysia and then the final year in China as well. So we have different ways for students to actually go overseas and complete the studies as well. All right. So moving on. Okay, so just for information, INTI has various partnerships. So we have partner university programs, we have dual award programs, as well as also articulation partners. So I'll start off with the partner university program. So for partner university program, this basically means that we have university programs that are offered by our partner universities either from the UK, from Australia, from the US, and also from France. You can either opt to stay all 3 years or 4 years here in Malaysia and get a foreign degree certificate. So let's say, for example, you study under Sheffield Hallam University from the UK. You can actually study 3 years here in Malaysia and get a certificate from UK, which is Sheffield Hallam University. Or you can also opt to do 2+1, meaning 2 years here in Malaysia, and then the final year you can transfer to the UK to complete your studies. This can also happen for University of Hertfordshire, for Coventry, as well as Swinburne, and also for Southern New Hampshire University, which is from the US. So again, we have different options. Say, let's say, for example, you don't want to transfer, you can complete all your studies here and still get a certificate from our partner university. Bear in mind, for the partner university programs, the curriculum is exactly the same as our partner university. So let's say, for example, you're studying under University of Hertfordshire, accounting and finance, for example. The curriculum that is taught in Malaysia is exactly the same as the one in the UK. So even when you get your certificate, your transcript, it will be exactly the same as the one that is offered in the UK. All right. The only difference, of course, is that on the transcript is just mentioned that the location is in Malaysia, but in general, the certificate, the transcript will be exactly the same as our partner university. Okay, you can also transfer to France. Let's say, for example, you want to study culinary arts or food management. You can study 2 years here in Malaysia and the final year in France as well. But there are also some prerequisites that you need to meet before you can transfer there. Or let's say, for example, you want to go to the US as well. We have the Southern New Hampshire University program where you can do 4 years here in Malaysia and get a US certificate, or you can do 3 years here in Malaysia and then the final year in the US as well. Again, subjected to approval of your visa and also getting the right grades for you to be able to transfer over to our different partner universities. Okay, then we have what is known as dual award programs. So for dual award programs, this basically means students will get two certificates, one from University of Hertfordshire and then another from INTI, or one from Coventry and another from INTI. So basically, the main difference in the dual award program and the partner university program is for the dual award program, it's actually a INTI homegrown program that is certified by our partner universities. Okay, so of course, the curriculum is slightly different from our partner university because we have also sort of added a few local subjects that are included in the dual award program. So generally, of course, the weightage of the program is pretty much the same. It's just that, of course, when you go for the dual award program, you get two certificates, whereas for the partnership award program, you only get one certificate from our partner university. All right. Then we have what is known as articulation partners. So for articulation partners, this basically falls under our transfer program. So you can either do the Australian degree transfer program, and then you can transfer to the UK or Australia to complete your studies. Or you can do the American degree transfer program, where you can do 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to the US or Canada to complete your studies. Or let's say, for example, you don't want to do any transfer program. You can either choose to do our foundation programs or our diploma programs. That will also help you either go to the UK, Australia, even to some extent, it will help you go to the US and Canada, because the diploma programs and the foundation programs that we offer here have actually been verified by majority of our partner universities over whether it be the UK, Australia, or even the US as well. So in general, let's say, for example, you don't want to do a transfer program, maybe you want to do a diploma or foundation, you can, or you want to do A levels and use those qualifications to actually apply to our partner universities, then you can, because as I said, INTI has been operating for over 39 years, so we've actually established very good relationships with different universities, either in the UK, Australia, US, Canada, as well as also New Zealand. So if, say, for example, you want to transfer over there using our diplomas, you can, because like I said, our diploma holds a lot of weight, and it actually is not the same as doing an H&D from Pearson as well, because our diploma is a little bit more hands-on experience and it's a little bit more extensive. Okay, so it does prepare you even after completing our diploma here at INTI, you can actually go straight into working in Malaysia as well. Okay, that just shows how much weight the diploma carries in itself. Okay, so even if you do a diploma at INTI or foundation at INTI, you can still apply to our partner universities to complete your studies as well. All right. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so these are the fields that we offer here at INTI. We have art and design programs, so students who are looking for graphic design, interior design and architecture. If you're looking for fashion design as well, we do offer diploma and bachelor degree programs that are related to that field. Let's say, for example, you're also interested in immersive design, meaning you want to make augmented reality or virtual reality. We do have a program that is catered to do that. Let's say, for example, maybe you're into animation and you want to do your own creation of animation as well. We do have an art and design program that is catered to help you with that as well. Okay. Then we also have the American Degree Transfer Program. Like I mentioned earlier, you can either do 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to the US or Canada to complete your studies as well. All right. Then we have the biotechnology and life sciences. So under life sciences, we have what is known as the Australian Degree Transfer Program and the science. Okay. For the science majors, this is where you can transfer to the UK or Australia to do either microbiology, zoology, genetics, food science, and many more life science subjects. All right. Then we have business majors. So those students are looking for like business administration, marketing, management, sports management, or you're looking for the Australian Degree Transfer Program under commerce, meaning you want to transfer for business majors. Let's say, for example, you want to do finance, marketing, international business, or supply chain management. You can actually study 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to Australia or the UK to complete your studies. Or you can actually study here in Malaysia and complete your studies here with a foreign degree or a dual award program as well. Okay, then we have computer science or computing and IT programs. So if you're looking for computer science, you're looking for IT, we do offer majors like that as well. All right. Then we have engineering programs. So engineering, we have civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronic engineering, and quantity surveying. So it just depends on what type of major you're interested in. We will be able to guide you accordingly. All right. Then we have the hospitality and culinary arts. So let's say, for example, you want to do hotel management or culinary arts. We have different pathways that will allow you to do different majors. Say, for example, you want to do diploma in culinary arts or diploma in hotel management as well. All right. Then we have mass communication, which is basically those students who are mostly interested in media and TV broadcasting or radio broadcasting. Okay. You can either do diploma level program or bachelor degree programs, and you'll be able to join, maybe say, for example, you want to do social media as well. We do have programs that catered to doing social media or digital marketing as well. All right. Then we have physiotherapy as well as also traditional Chinese medicine as well. So in general, we have a variety of options and we have over 100 programs here at INTI. It just depends on what is your interest and what you're interested in. We'll be able to guide you from the beginning all the way up until the end. So even when you reach out to Yes Education, they'll be able to also let you know what pathways you have and what options you have, and we'll be able to guide you throughout the process itself. Okay, so now moving on to some of the facilities that we have at INTI. All right, we have an Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have our lobby that is currently being updated and renovated, so it's looking a little bit more modern. This is what our classroom look like. As you can see, it's not very traditional. We try to keep it a little bit more interesting. So it's more of like a group discussion type of classroom. And you can see that we don't make it such a big class because we want the students to be able to be comfortable to reach out to their lecturers as well. Okay. And then we also have our cafeteria that kind of looks like this as well. Then we have a lot of study areas. We have computer labs. We have a napping area, and also we have a lot of practical rooms. So we have computer labs that students are doing maybe computer science or doing mass communication. We have the specific labs that help them learn how to use the software. So let's say, for example, also you're doing mass comm or mass communication. You want to do radio broadcasting. We actually have a podcast room, and as well as also we have a mock TV room or like it's a TV show production room as well. So students will get a lot more practical learning. Even let's say, for example, you're doing hospitality as well. If you do hospitality, we have a practicing or training restaurant. You can learn in the preparation kitchen, the pastry kitchen, and also we have hotel mock rooms as well, where students actually learn about the practicality needed for the hospitality industry itself. Okay, I think I'll end the presentation for now. Thank you so much for listening. So now we'll open up the floor for some Q&A. And if, say, for example, you guys have any inquiries about INTI and maybe certain majors that you'd like to understand as well. All right.
All right, thank you so much, Arthur. Thank you so much. Let's just want to all right, everyone. So is there any other questions you want to know more about? Actually, Arthur, I'm just quite a bit curious about like let's say in your opinion about how would you want to what are the selling points usually if students are interested in the INTI Nilai campus?
For the Nilai campus, I would say it just depends on what major they would like to go for. In general, of course, if say for example they want to do engineering, we do have engineering programs there. We have diploma programs. We also have the Australian degree transfer program. And also I say sometimes we also do offer free accommodation as well in our Nilai campus, but of course it's subjected to approval and hopefully by next year we'll also have that as well.
I see, I see. That's very interesting.
Mhm.
Just let's say example if I'm just very curious because I know some programs where you offer like not only in one campus but also multiple campuses throughout INTI. Would
Yes.
INTI in general be open to let's say an international student, they were
Mhm.
initially went to study in INTI one INTI, but then suddenly they realized that they want
Mhm.
to move to another INTI. Would that be possible?
Yes, it would be possible, but also it depends on what program they're going for. Let's say, for example, they're doing a foundation, maybe if they're doing the foundation, right, the best option is for them to complete that 1 year foundation, and then after that foundation, then they can transfer to the different campuses. Okay, but let's say, for example, they're doing a master's, for example, of course, the master's is only offered in Nilai campus, so of course they would not be able to transfer there. But let's say, for example, again, also it depends on what qualification they have. If, say, for example, they have GED, because like I said, for the Nilai campus, we follow the Malaysian curriculum, whereas for the Subang campus and Penang campus, we follow more of the foreign or our partner university curriculum. Okay, so in that situation, let's say for example, student has a GED qualification in Nilai, they'll be able to go directly into degree. But in Subang, they have to start with the foundation first or diploma first. So again, it also depends on the situation, but in general, yes, they can transfer. It just depends on what qualification and what major they have as well.
Okay,
Okay.
I think I can totally understand because I think it depends on like let's say example because I think if you guys look at the INTI website there will be like a qualific they'll mention about the the dual award in if as is written in the course website, so I think that's where you can know that the entry requirement might be a little bit different in general, which is something that you can take
Correct.
note about
Correct.
that. Yeah. Because I think let's say
Yeah.
for students
So,
with
but
yeah. Sorry, go on. Sorry, go on, Arthur.
no, so basically, it just depends on what qualification the student has, but it's not to say it's not possible. It's just because we also have to abide by the regulations set by immigration as well. So let's say, for example, a student is doing a bachelor degree in Nilai and then wants to downgrade to diploma in Subang. Of course, immigration would question that type of situation as well. So to maybe, I can just say it is possible, but just depends on the situation.
I
Yes.
see, I see. So I
Yeah.
see because I think let's say for example because like from yes education side we are very Australian focused. We know that
Okay.
be downgrading a qualification is a very huge flag. So now
Yeah.
I think now that it's also clear that in Malaysia is also a similar situation, but I think it depends on how the student wants to justify like, okay, you've already
Okay.
doing a degree, but why would you want to downgrade into a diploma unless you have a very good reason?
Yes. 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 That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can
I
look at
noticed there's some
yeah.
questions in the Q&A.
Yep, we have a
Yes.
Q&A and Q&A.
Okay, so the first question is, what are the entry requirements for after completing matriculation Myanmar grade 12? Okay, so at the moment, for students who have completed grade 12 matriculation from Myanmar, at the moment, they still need to do foundation or diploma. Okay, reason being is, yes, I understand that the government in Myanmar recently announced that grade 12 is equivalent to like A levels qualification. However, in Malaysia, the system has not yet been updated and it may take some time for them to update the list. So for the time being, if say for example you have matriculation grade 12 from Myanmar, you have to do a foundation or diploma first. So let's say for example you want to do diploma, you need to have 3 subjects with 50 marks and above. But again, it depends on what major you want to do. Let's say for example you want to do IT, you have to have 3 subjects, and then one needs to be mathematics for IT, for example. If you want to do engineering, you need to have mathematics and maybe physics, for example, in 3 subjects with 50 marks and above. If you want to go for foundation as well, we have 5 subjects with 50 marks and above. Again, depends on what major you want to do, but in general, you need to have at least a minimum of 5 subjects with 50 marks and above to either do foundation or diploma as well.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay, great.
all right. So the next question would be, can you please explain the pathway up to bachelor's degree at INTI? I'd like to know which program, e.g., Diploma Foundation is eligible for matriculation students, IGCSE and GED too. Okay, so in general, we can start off with the Myanmar matriculation. So for students who have completed Myanmar matriculation, unfortunately for the time being, they have to start with a foundation or diploma first. It's either they do a foundation for 1 year and then either 3 years bachelor degree or 4 years bachelor degree. It depends on what major they go for. If let's say, for example, they go for diploma, it's going to be two years of diploma and then maybe 2 years of degree, or 2.5 years of diploma and then maybe about another 3.5 years of bachelor degree as well. So it just depends on what major they go for and which pathway they go for. For students who have doing IGCSE, they have to start off with a foundation and a diploma as well, and then only be able to progress into bachelor degree. All right. However, if let's say, for example, students want to do the American curriculum, meaning they want to go for like the Southern New Hampshire University Partner University program for business, psychology, or communication, yes, they can use their matriculation or IGCSE to go directly into the degree program. But bear in mind that they'll have to do 4 years, which is pretty much the same as either doing 1 year foundation and 3 years bachelor degree in business, for example. All right. They also need to have, if they say, for example, they want to go into the degree for Southern New Hampshire University from the US, they need to have 5 subjects with 50 marks and above for matriculation, and 5 subjects with grade C and above in IGCSE, or if, say, for example, you're using the number system 1 to 9, they need to have a score 4 points and above in 5 subjects for them to be able to use IGCSE to go into our Southern New Hampshire University program. All right. Then for GED, okay, so for GED is a little bit tricky because let's say, for example, a student wants to apply for our partner university program, so meaning they want to go for the Swinburne University program or this University of Hertfordshire program or Sheffield Hallam University program. Okay, so for Australia and the UK, unfortunately, they deem GED as something equivalent to IGCSE. So meaning students have to do foundation first or diploma first. However, let's say, for example, you want to go for our dual award program, which is in our INTI International University campus in Nilai. Like I said, we follow the Malaysian curriculum. There you can go directly into degree. However, certain majors are permitted. IT you can, but you need to do prerequisite subjects, or you need to do a reinforcement mathematics. If, say, for example, you want to do engineering, you can, but you have to do a reinforcement math and science subject as well. Okay, so again, maybe for this question, maybe you can approach Yes Education and tell us what programs it is that you want to go for, and then we'll be able to give you more details in general. All
I
right?
think it's also a good idea because sometimes also GED, because GED, it's true that there are certain programs you can try to apply for that, but I think it's better to show us the GED that's including the
Correct.
cert and also the 4 subjects, and
Yes.
we can see how much is the score in between them. I'll show it to Arthur or the INTI staff. They can develop to advise what's the suitable
Yes.
pathway for your student. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So please do reach out to Yes Education. Is it Mo Papasao? Am I pronouncing that correctly? Hopefully I am. All right. So you can reach out to Yes Education regarding this, and maybe we can give you a little bit more details regarding like the entry requirements for specific majors. Because different majors, let's say, for example, business, generally speaking, if, say, for example, you want to go from foundation, we just need 5 subjects with 50 marks and above. But then for IT, say, for example, you want to do foundation in IT, you need to include mathematics in those subjects. So if, say, for example, you want to know a little bit more, maybe you can list down the majors you want to go for. Then you can reach out to Yes Education for further understanding as well. Okay?
Right.
All right. And then the next question is, could you please describe the USD for annual tuition fees approximately? So I would say approximately it's close to about 7,500 to about 10,000 US dollars per year, but it again depends on what major you're going for and which program you're going for as well. Okay. So I would say it's roughly around that range. So it just depends on what major you go for as well. All right. I hope that answers your question. Unless you want more specific in terms of program, you have to reach out to Yes Education, and then maybe we can give you a little bit more of a breakdown in terms of the programs and the majors as well. All right. Okay. So the next question: do students pay the fees as those they tend to transfer. Okay, so for this case, let's say, for example, if you study under our Australian degree transfer program, you do maybe 1 or 2 years here in Malaysia and then transfer to Australia or the UK. Once you transfer to those universities, you actually be paying the fees of that university. Let's give an example. Maybe you transfer to Northumbria in the UK, for example. Once you transfer there, you'll be paying the fees according to the UK fees itself. So let's say, for example, yes, maybe it's about £9,000 a year. You'd have to pay £9,000 a year, for example. Okay. If they study in Malaysia and transfer to UK, to INTI handle visa process for the student? Yes. So we have what is known as the University Placement Office on our campus. So there, it's basically like a student a guidance counselor that assists the students with their application when they want to apply to the UK or US or Canada as well. So in general, we actually help you from the beginning or up until you transfer to your destination, whether it be the UK, New Zealand, Australia, or even the US. Just depends on which destination you want to go for. We actually have the facilities to actually help the students transfer accordingly. All right.
I think it's also fair to also mention because I think it's also a bit of a not to say sensitive, but I would say that because let's say example, if you guys happen to send students to INTI already.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say from our side, and then let's say after students come either they complete the qualification, whether if it's a diploma or after they did, let's say 1 year in INTI, they want to transfer, we can tech because yes, education, we do have partners with Northumbria,
Mm-hmm.
Coventry,
Yes.
even Swinburne. They are open to accepting applications for transfers. So that one we can still
Yes.
assist as well for
Yes.
your sub agents as well. So I think it's also good to let them know. But let's say if because INTI placement is technically also another. INTI placement also works with that university. So let's say if INTI already handled the application, then it's INTI's placement number. So just
Correct.
wanted to give everyone a heads up because it's quite common that let's say you send an INTI, but then let's say if they've already still in contact with the students that they send the INTI, you can still actually help them
Mm.
after if for their UK or for their Australian application. That one is no problem. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, so in general, that one, it all depends on the student, whether the student wants to apply by themselves or they want assistance. We have the facilities. All right.
Yeah. No
Okay.
problem.
So moving on, does the internship program apply only for final year students? It just depends on your study plan, but yes, generally speaking, we try to save it for the final semester because generally that is the best timeline for them. But again, some students do mess up when they're studying as well, so we have to alter their study plan as well. So it also depends on when they join the program and also, but in general, it's normally the final year students. Okay? All right. When I apply to your university, do I need to submit personal statement, bank statement, and sponsor declaration? Okay, so the beauty of studying in Malaysia, none of these documents are required. Okay, we only need your academic results, your passport, and that's it. Then of course you need to submit like the photos, the health declaration form, and all that. But in terms of like personal statement, bank statement, and also sponsor declaration, we would not need that. For the personal statement, it will only be, say, for example, you want to apply for Swinburne University of Technology. So sometimes Swinburne University of Technology will request for like an explanation letter, or like, say, for example, maybe there's a study gap, that type of situation would ask you to give a personal statement or like some sort of explanation letter. But in general, we will not ask you for this in Malaysia in general. Okay? Okay. Anything you want to add on to that, Timothy?
Oh, no, all good.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you also asked the next question is how much is the total expenses for living, meals, transportation, and other costs? Okay, so this one I would say is subjected to students spending in general. If we're talking about Malaysian ringgit, let's say for example, rent can be from about 600 ringgit all the way up until 1,005, sometimes also can go up to 2,000. It again depends on what type of room you want to get, what type of place you want to get in general. Okay. In terms of food and transportation, again, it depends on whether the student is willing to cook inside or they want to buy outside. So if they want to buy outside, it can be a little bit pricey. But if, say, for example, they can cook maybe roughly around maybe 300 to about 500 per month should be okay for food and cooking in general. For transportation, again, we have the facilities that allow students to actually cut their costs. So let's say, for example, you take INTI's LRT, I mean, you apply for the LRT card, which is the touch and go card, you actually get 50% off because you're a student as well. Okay, so if students use the train, then it's a little bit more cheaper. But if they use Grab, again, it can be a bit expensive because taking maybe Grab from here to KL can be, Kuala Lumpur can be about maybe 30 to 40 ringgit. But let's say, for example, you take the train, it can be like 4 ringgit or even 3 ringgit just taking the train. So again, in terms of transportation, it depends on the student and how much they're willing to spend. Other costs, it also depends on what type of room they get. Some accommodation will offer Wi-Fi and electricity, but others will not. So again, roughly, I would say on a monthly basis, it between 1,005 to about 2,005 should be okay for a student. But again, some students might spend a little bit more, but it just depends on their budget as well. Okay. How much is the cost of university accommodation? So we do have accommodation on campus. Roughly, I would say it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's about 300 to about 600 per month for our accommodation in our campuses, whether it be Subang, Nilai, or Penang. But again, if say for example that off campus accommodation, they can go for it. It's slightly more expensive, yes. So it just depends on what type of room and what type of place they get as well. I hope that answers your question, unless you have any further questions. Any more questions?
Any more questions, anyone? But I think it's safe. I think it's also safe to say that I think we've covered up almost everything. But do not worry. We have worked with INTI also very closely. So usually they are quite fast in response, usually speaking. But not to worry, everyone. Arthur, please feel free to share the slides later on. I will forward the slides to the group chat.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but not to worry,
Okay.
everyone. You have any more questions? Oh yeah, by the way, Arthur, just
Mm-hmm.
like, let's say in terms of student wanting to submit the application,
Okay.
when would you suggest the student to submit, considering the EMGS visa processing time frame?
Okay, maybe I should also explain a little bit about how the process works in general. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in general, the first things first, you guys will need to submit your application to Yes Education for us to submit for eligibility checking, right? So then, of course, we'll check, make sure the student meets the entry requirements, right? Once the student meets the entry requirements, we'll issue what is known as the letter of eligibility. In the letter of eligibility, they literally tell you how much the tuition fees are, well, for the first semester, how much the visa costs, and also what documents to submit with your application, right? So then once you submit your application to INTI, we actually would need to assist you to apply for your student visa. So in general, you guys will not need to apply for anything. We actually will do everything for you, meaning from the time you put in your application through Yes Education till the time you get your visa, we'll actually assist you throughout the process until you come into Malaysia. Okay? So just for information, whenever we apply or submit student visa application, it can take from about 3 to 8 weeks, sometimes even to 10 weeks just to process. So in general, we always advise our students to submit at least 2 months before the semester starts. At least 2 months before the semester starts. Okay? Because sometimes whenever we submit it to the EMGS, which is Education Malaysia Global Services, it's basically the middleman between universities and immigration. So they're the ones that vet through the documents, make sure that all the documents are authentic, and then submit it to immigration to issue the student visa or the visa approval letter itself. Okay, so again, generally speaking, during that process of EMGS check-in, sometimes maybe the photo is wrong, or maybe there's an error in the transcript. Sometimes they might ask for additional documentation, or maybe they want supporting letters and all that kind of stuff. So generally, because of that, it might take a little bit long. So this is why we tell our students at least 2 months before the semester starts, please submit your application. Okay, all right.
Okay, no problem. Then I think there's one last question over
Yes.
here. Is there any scholarships for what you explain? I think.
Yes, we do offer partial scholarships, which is applicable for the first year of your studies. And then we also do offer other incentives. So let's say, for example, your student has not done IELTS or needs to do IELTS in Malaysia. We do offer English classes. Normally, it's like free for the first year of your studies. But again, please do check with us or check with Yes Education whether that's been offered at the time. We also do offer like free foundation, which is not technically that is free. It basically means that you pay for the foundation first, and then once you progress into into degree, let's say for example you pay 21,000 for your foundation, right? And then once you progress into degree, that 21,000 will be deducted from your bachelor degree tuition fees, for example. Then we also have what is known as like a merit scholarship, which is up to about 45%, and then we have education assistance or edu assist, which is about 35% of the first year tuition fees alone. So again, it depends on what which scholarship you are eligible for. We'll be able to advise accordingly. But yes, we do offer scholarship. Okay.
Okay, great, no problem. Okay, everyone, let me just see. Is that one last career question? Oh no, I think
No,
that's about it. But not to worry. Not to worry. But let's say if there's any more follow-up questions, you feel free to reach out to us. I'll send everyone the respective slides. Thank you again so much, Arthur, but for your information to Inti. And it was great having you here today as well. I think it's also giving us a bit more insight about Malaysian market in general as well.
correct. Correct. Thank you so much for having me. And guys, thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, please do reach out to Yes Education. They'll be able to assist you and we'll help you with the process as well. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
everyone.
guys.
Have a great week ahead. Thank you.
You too. Bye, guys.
Bye bye.